Alright guys, welcome to an unusual vlog for us. So Tom and I are at Disney World right now for my birthday celebration. My birthday is April 21st. So last night we actually got an extra ride out of our trip, a very unexpected ride. We were at Disney Springs and you know, last night was Monday night, the 23rd. I have felt completely fine. I haven't been sick. We just finished eating dinner at the boathouse, feeling great. You know, went to the restrooms right after. And when I was in the restroom, I was leaving the stall, and my right ear all of a sudden felt like, you know, imagine your how your ears get real like cloggy, like in an airplane or after you swim. And by the way, no, I've not been swimming at all, haven't been in any water. So it almost even made it hard of hearing out of that ear because it felt like it was clogged. No big deal. Left the bathroom. About the time I walked down the hallway, out of the blue, I got extremely dizzy and nauseous. And this hit like instantly. Tom came out of the restroom, looked at me, could tell something was wrong. I walked a little bit through the reception area and into their gift shop, and I just felt like I was gonna pass out. Like I had to sit down. Luckily they have chairs right outside that gift shop, and sat down there, and I realized that I basically could not turn my head or move almost at all because of the awful, we're going to describe it as vertigo that I was having. And I could basically only look straight ahead. I could not even sit back in the chair. Once I sat at the edge of the chair, I just basically held on to the chair for like dear life. And it was just a very unusual feeling. I'm a very healthy person other than my asthma. I really don't get sick, so it was just like, what is going on? And so we sat there for about 15 or 20 minutes, and it just kept getting worse, and I just felt like something wasn't right. And at that point I could just like feel my heart like beating, like it was going to beat out of my chest. And so he actually went in and got them to call, like, you know, I wanted like a first aid person to come and just like check my blood pressure. I don't have high blood pressure. Matter of fact, my blood pressure has always been low, but I just felt like I needed my blood pressure checked because my face kind of felt hot. My hands were a little shaky, and it unfortunately really did take a long time for them to get there. A security guard probably showed up about 8-10 minutes after the call. He showed up. Boathouse guy was really nice and brought me some water. And again, I still can't move my head from just looking completely straight. And finally, it ended up not being like, I was thinking first aid people. It ended up being like EMTs that came like with the stretcher and all the equipment. It was quite embarrassing, but they, you know, asked all the right questions, and they took my blood pressure, and it was 205 over something. And for some, I mean, that's high for anybody, but for somebody that does not have any history of high blood pressure, he was immediately concerned. He even like asked me to smile, which later I realized what he was doing. He was actually checking to see if I was possibly having a stroke by making me smile. And after some talking and them finding out I do not have a history of high blood pressure, I mean, shoot, I haven't even been to the doctor in like 3 years just because I'm healthy. He's like, yeah, you need to go. He started talking about the clinic, kind of like an urgent care. But then he's like, no, they're going to see your blood pressure, and they're going to go, nope, she's got to go to the hospital. So actually they put me on the stretcher, which I could not lay back on. I had to sit straight up and look forward, or I would have just passed out. My eyes, I felt like I was having a hard time staying awake, but I had to keep my eyes open because if I closed them, again, the extreme nausea, dizziness. So on the stretcher I went, ambulance was waiting basically right there where the buses drop you off in town center. The resort buses drop you off. And off to the hospital I went. So we got that added extra ride. Once we got there, trying to make the story a little bit shorter, once we got there, they got all my history. They did, and instantly she starts checking me for a stroke. And actually the EMT had said that the reason the clinic would basically make me go straight to the hospital was because that I would have been a stroke candidate because of the high blood pressure. And so the doctor's checking me, you know, doing all the little tests for the stroke. But they did, immediately did a EKG, a CAT scan, and a chest x-ray. Because it was just like, why is this happening? What's going on? And blood work. They put in an IV and blood work came back. And unknown to me, when I get back home, I need to go to my doctor and be checked out for diabetes. So the regular blood sugar is supposed to be 70 to 90 and mine was over 200. So they immediately started you know, trying to flush out my, they wanted to get the blood pressure down and the sugar down. And once they got all of that down, I was released with some meds for like vertigo. She said the vertigo could have something to do with my body's reaction to the high blood pressure and the sugar levels, but it also could have been just basically a virus vertigo, that it was kind of a fluke thing, that it kind of happened at the same time. But I tell you what, for people that actually have vertigo, it's awful. You're basically just incapable of doing anything. I mean, I know some people can lay down. I couldn't even lay down. That would have made it worse. So I'm gonna add in some little clips of the hospital. Of course, I didn't have the camera. Tom had the camera and my purse. He actually rode in the front seat of the ambulance, so I couldn't, and not that I would have been capable of vlogging anything from the ambulance anyway, but I did start vlogging after they kind of got me settled and got the test done, and I could actually move a little bit better and starting to feel better. Those levels were coming down. I did vlog, so I'll go ahead and insert those clips now. Okay guys, well, it's been a good birthday up until now, so as you can see, this is where I am. Got to the hospital by ambulance from Disney Springs at exactly 10:17. I actually saw the clock when they wheeled me in. Sorry, I was looking at Tom at the chair. Guess I'll go into more details in a second for you guys. Don't I'll tell you more in the next one. So I'm at Celebration Health Florida Hospital. I'm reading the sign over there is where we are. And I'm hoping the paramedic said that normally, or the security guard, I don't know, one of them said that normally Disney will handle getting us back at the room, so I hope so. Okay, so what did they say?
That was guest services, and they said call them when you're ready to come back, and they would call the front desk, and they would coordinate transportation back to the resort from the hospital.
Well, he was right. The security guard at Disney Springs had told us when we were ready to go back to the resort that normally Disney will handle that transportation, and evidently he's correct about that, so that's really good news. Okay guys, so I have rolling veins, unfortunately, and putting IVs in is not easy. They tried it, they got that in, but then the vein blew. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, because he said it blew. So finally, they actually got it in my hand, which is nice because normally it takes like 3 tries, so it only took 2, so that's a positive. And actually, I'm really enjoying the scenic views on the TV and the nature sounds that come with it. he's evidently enjoying it also. So my heart rate has finally came down a lot. What was the highest it was at?
I think, 125 or something like that.
It was in the 120s at some point, so it's finally starting to come down now that the blood sugar has came down. Alright guys, it is 1:22 a.m. and I am being discharged. Yay. This is really nice hospital. Yeah. Hopefully you guys will never have to come here. There is a lesson to be learned from this story, guys. After talking to the doctor, I'm going to explain a few things to you, and I want you guys to consider this, not just traveling to Disney, but traveling anywhere. And that is, if you change your diet, what you're eating extremely from what you normally have, that could, your body might not be able to handle all that. And this is what happened. So a year ago, I stopped drinking sweet tea. I always drank sweet tea. I switched to unsweet tea about a year ago. 3 years ago, I stopped drinking Meliella and Mountain Dew, which is, guys, the worst soft drink you can drink. But that was my soft drink of choice. That's what I drank all the time. Went cold turkey on that. Just found out how bad it was, all the yellow number 5, cold turkey. So a few days before the trip, I thought, I drink Coke. I have at least a Coke a day, sometimes 2. And I thought, we're on the dining plan, the deluxe dining plan this trip, which is 3 meals a day. I'm going to be drinking a lot more soda than I normally do. So 4 days before the trip, I totally cut out soda. I had no soda whatsoever. So I'm also not accustomed to eating 3 meals a day. First of all, I never eat breakfast. Oh, say never. Rarely, unless we go out to eat, do I eat breakfast. So I normally don't eat my first meal until about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I don't have dessert after my meal. On the dining plan, you get an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert. So for 2 days, well, that was our 3rd day. So basically, for 3 days, I had 3 meals a day, and 2 of those meals would have been a dessert with it. I was drinking more soda. Now, I was still getting plenty of water and like their citrus tea, but basically saying my diet completely changed. I'm not used to that much food, definitely not used to that sugar. And then here's another thing that she brought up, that the doctor brought up. My salt intake the last few days was also a factor in all this, and could have been like a factor for the high blood pressure too. I don't cook with salt. I rarely, the only time I have salt is if I go out to eat and it's in food, or I eat like French fries from McDonald's. I don't eat fried food other than like French fries from McDonald's. And I've had a lot of salt. I mean, she's like, you don't realize when you go out to eat how much salt they put in the food. I mean, just eating breakfast and eating scrambled eggs. I don't even put salt in my boiling water if I boil something. So my salt intake has probably been through the roof also. And here's an interesting tidbit. Just that afternoon, we were on the monorail and I had sandals on, and I kind of crossed my legs and I looked down at my ankle and I'm like, oh my gosh, Tom, look at my ankle. It was like completely puffy. Hello people, indication of too much salt. Like right now, my ankle is fine. It was just a weird moment of why. He's like, did you twist it? And I'm like, no, but I mean, you could feel it, and it was, you could see it, all the puffiness. So there's a lesson to be learned here for everybody. I wanted everybody to know, one, I'm doing this post because I'm just updating everybody. I did put on social media. If you follow me on Instagram, on Life's a Whirlwind, or you follow me on Snapchat on the Mouse Diva, then you know I went to the hospital. So it's kind of like this is an update, but it's also something I just want to make you guys aware of that can happen. Okay guys, I'm sorry there was a quick interruption where I am vlogging. Some unexpected characters came out and I had to stop and go down and see those characters. You want to know who those characters are, you need to go to the Mouse Diva channel and watch vlogs from there. That is where this trip vlog will be posted, is the Mouse Diva, because I'm so behind on posting older Disney vacations on this channel. So anyway, not quite sure where I was. I was close to wrapping it up. I just want to make you guys aware of the changes. An immediate drastic change to your diet can really affect you. High blood pressure and diabetes runs in my family, you know, in the immediate family. So she does suggest I definitely have to, when I get home, go to the doctor, get checked out. One, I haven't been in so long, which she fussed at me about. You know you're supposed to go on a yearly, you know, get checked out yearly with your doctor, but I'm healthy, so I haven't done that. And, well, so I thought I was. Anyway, I need to get those all checked out. The, what they gave me through the IV, you know, helped. It brought everything down, so obviously they released me. Tom wasn't too thrilled about us coming. He said I need to be resting. I'm weak, I'm tired, but I'm at Disney and a little ambulance ride and ER visit is not gonna stop me from being in my happy place. So anyway guys, I'd love to hear any comments that you guys have, any suggestions, comments, similar experiences. Let me know if anybody in your family has made a trip to the ER while you were at Disney World. I hope you like, comment, and subscribe, and share this channel with your, you know, your friends. Thanks guys. Take care of yourselves and watch what you eat at Disney.
So stoked we again.